Hey guys, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to my channel. We are going full on summer today. We are talking animal print, we're talking neons. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. So we got a little dip with me happening today. I'm gonna walk you through how I created this bright and fun neon mani with some beautiful dips from Barbie Secret Dips and these really cool pigments from Amazon. So I'm going to take you through it step by step, and I promise you this is another one of those really easy techniques that I think would apply to a lot of different designs. So if you want to see how I created this really cool mani, then stick around. We're getting into it. Okay guys, so before we get started, if you are curious about the mani on my right hand, that is a mani I did with the new Vivid Glamco USA Babe collection. And yeah, it's quite a stunning collection, which I shouldn't be surprised, it is Vivid after all, right? So if you didn't catch that video, I will have it linked for you in the cards. Alright guys, so if you are catching this video on the day it goes live, you're actually getting a sneak preview of what I am posting on Instagram tomorrow. So this is actually for a collab, and I'll get into the details for you here in a bit. But yeah, that is what this mani is all about. But before we get into the details, I just want to ask you, do you like my new nail mat? Because I sure do, because it's zebra print on one side and leopard on the other side. Does it get any more fun than that? I don't think so. So this is one of the nail mats that is going to be available in the SewNeatByJamie Etsy shop. And yes, that is a shop that my mother has created. And she's put a few of these nail mats in here. She's got a few of these specific ones ready to go. So we hope to have that shop open sometime within the next week. We've been working on it. I know we're a little late, but it is coming. So I will have a video for you soon with the specifics as to what's going to be available and all that good stuff. So be looking for that. I should be posting that on the YouTube community tab when I have more details. So I am really excited to use this for the first time today, and it is perfect for the occasion because we are going to be creating a neon animal print mani. So the Barbie Secret Dips ambassador team got together and put together a collab for tomorrow, and it is the neon summer collab. So this is all about wild for neon, so it's animal print and neon. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So it'll go perfect with this mat. So I have a couple of dips here from her recently released neon collection, which I did a whole video on. So if you missed that one, make sure you check that out. I'll have it linked for you in the cards. But I pulled in Wildberry here, Hotter Than You Pink. And then I've also got Solidarity, which we are going to use for the background for our neon animal print art. And then of course I've got my pigments here from Amazon. So I think you're going to be surprised at just how simple this technique is. And like I said, I really do think it's something you could adapt for so many different designs. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and dip out our shimmers. I'm going to start here first with Solidarity because I always like to do any light colored or white dip nails and finish them with the activator before I start on my colors. It just keeps things less messy and less stainy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will dip into the pink and the purple, and then we will get into the nail art. So I'll be back here in just a little bit.
The way I do about anyone but you. If I were to lose you now, I don't know what I might do. You're in all of my dreams, whether I'm awake or I'm asleep. My love ain't going anywhere, babe, I'm in this way too deep.
All right, guys, quick and simple. And I just love how well formulated these neons are. They're just perfection to me. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off camera real quick and just kind of clean up the shape a little bit. And then we will be right back to do the nail art. All right, so I went ahead and top coated the neon nails, which we were done with, and gosh, don't they look just amazing with that gel top coat on them? I think what I really like about these is not only how smooth they apply, but also I really love the addition of the heavy shimmer in there because it really just brings something special to these dips. So wait till you see the finished photos. I think they look incredible. All right, so of course I did not top coat the middle nails because we are actually going to be doing the nail art on them. Now this is important. For this technique, you do not want to apply gel base before you do the artwork. And I know that's pretty different than what I usually say, but we have a reason for that because we are going to be using these neon pigments and we want the neon pigments only to stick to the design, not to the background. So that is the reason why I say don't use a gel base coat. We are actually going to start just with the gels. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and pull out the neons that we're going to use. So I love this little collection of pigments. Now, these are pure pigments. These are not dip powders. So you could definitely use dip powders for this technique instead of the pigments. But the pigments are cheap, guys. They're so cheap and there's several different colors and they're going to last you a while because you need the tiniest amount. So I really do like using pigments for designs like these because you're going to fight less with getting that true color payoff because there's no clear acrylic in there to kind of dilute that, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I have these for this technique and for other designs like that I think I really just prefer to have the straight pigment. So of course, if you are interested in these, I'll have them linked down below. But yeah, I think they're really just so seamless for a design like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and carefully take off the tops of these. And then I also have the little like eyeshadow brush looking thing applicators because I don't normally like to use those on anything. But for this, it does work pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a few of those out as well. So for the base for my design, I'm going to be using my iGel Beauty Line Art Gel in white. You could use gel polish as well. And actually, you could use clear or even another light color. I just think white provides such a really good base for neons because it really makes those colors pop. But you could definitely use like a clear base coat if you wanted to. Okay guys, so the plan is to take my iGel Beauty liner brush and pick up some of this gel, and I'm just going to start to paint on either zebra or tiger stripes, whichever one you choose. I'm not really sure. I've had this debate before as to whether these are zebra or tiger stripes, and I've yet to come to a final conclusion. I guess I was kind of thinking more along the lines of tiger stripes when I planned out this many, but you know, whatever. If you look them up online, they look pretty darn similar. So the idea here is to not to be too perfect with the shapes, you know, make them kind of chunkier in some areas and skinnier in other areas, and try to make it a little on the random side because that would reflect more what's in actual nature. So that's against my my mindset. I always seem to want to make things symmetrical. So I really have to kind of push myself to stop being so controlled with the brush and just relax a little bit. But I think I got there in the end. I'm pretty happy with the final look, but yeah, it was definitely a struggle to try to get myself to be a little less symmetrical with these designs. So since I'm always talking about how you want to have gel base down as a foundation for your nail art, you're probably wondering how we're getting away with putting this nail art without the gel base first. Well, here's the thing. Yes, I'm putting this directly down on activated and filed and buff dip powder that I just wiped down with alcohol, and I'm putting this gel right on top of it. But the thing of it is I'm actually going to end up sandwiching this art between a gel base and top coat, so I will still have something kind of tacking down this design to the dip powder. So that's kind of how we get away with that. So I'm doing this one at a time just to make it easier on myself, and once I get everything on there, I'm actually going to flash cure this. So I believe I did 10, maybe 15 seconds, definitely no more than 15, because I have just found that the pigment seems to want to stick better to the gel if it's only flash cured. Can you fully cure it and then try to rub the pigment in? Sure you can. I just feel like it takes on the more saturated color if you just flash cure it. So like I said, 10 to 15 seconds, pop it in the lamp, and then once you take it out of the lamp, you're going to start to place your pigments. So I'm just taking my pigments here and starting to run them down the length of the nail in kind of like a color gradient. So I'm starting with the yellow and then I move into the orange, the pink, and the purple. And again, this is not supposed to be perfect. It's more of like a rough, more wild looking design, haha, pun intended. But all you're really trying to do is just rub this into the art. And yes, you are going to get some onto the dip powder. And that's exactly why you don't want to have gel base down before doing this, because then it will stick to the gel base too, and we don't want that. We want to maintain that white background. So what I will do is file, buff, activate, and then wipe down with alcohol and make sure that it is completely dry before I go in with that white striping, because otherwise when I go to actually apply the pigment, it's going to stick to anything that has any kind of moisture on it or any kind of like sticky texture. It's going to stick to everything, and we want to be able to brush it off anything that isn't these white stripes. I will say that the yellow, the orange, and the pink all brushed off beautifully, but the purple still wanted to stain a little bit, and I believe that's just something to do with the nature of the pigment. So even though it was dry, it still wanted to stick a little bit in some of those areas where the purple was. So I'm going to show you how to clean that up if that happens, but definitely not having anything sticking underneath made it really easy to clear off 3 of the 4 colors off that white background. Okay guys, so this is the only part that gets a little tricky. So what I'm doing is basically wetting my brush with alcohol and then dabbing off the maybe 99% of it off the brush. I only just want a hint of alcohol on here, and I'm being very careful because if you brush onto where you've actually placed the pigment, it's going to take the pigment off with it. So like in the places where you actually want it to stay, you want to be careful to not touch that with the alcohol brush, because it will actually pull off the pigment and then you'll have a hard time getting it back on there, because that also kind of wipes out the tacky part of the gel. And so it's, like I said, it's just kind of tricky. So just have a steady hand, take your time, and use the smallest brush you can with very, very little alcohol in it. So once you're happy with how all that looks, then you're going to go ahead and take your gel base and kind of, like I said, sandwich that art between the dip powder and your gel top coat. And I am being careful here, though I will say if you brush off your excess, you really shouldn't have any issues with dragging the pigment on. I find it sticks pretty well to that flash cured gel, white gel. So now I'm just going in with the gel base and then gel top over top of that. And then, like I said, that just sandwiches the nail art between the dip powder and the top coat. And I did not have any issues with peeling. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat the exact same process on the other finger, and yes, I did finish all the way to top coat on that first one, just because I find that easiest to avoid any kind of pitfalls with transferring pigments from one nail to the other. But I think you can see even in doing that how quickly this comes together. So I'm just really painting on stripes with white lines, flash curing it, slapping the pigments on there, top coating it, and boom, I'm done. So I really think you could use this technique with a lot of different designs. Like you could really do some abstract nail art with this. You could do some floral designs, some kind of summer shoreline designs with these pigments. I mean, really basically anything you can do with a tap or scrub ombre, you could accomplish with this. And I've seen some really beautiful scrub ombres using this. So they'll just put down their base color dip powder and then put a little bit of gel base on there, flash cure it, and then actually use the pigment to create the scrub ombre. So if you're struggling with that, you might give it a try. You might find it works pretty well, because remember, you're not really diluting the color with any kind of clear acrylic. It's really just pure pigment. So it really does leave a lot of options open for you. All right, so here is my neon animal print mani all finished, and I am so happy with how this turned out. And it's definitely giving me Lisa Frank. Which one is it, guys? Help me on the comments down below. But yeah, it's definitely giving me those vibes. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here with Scales of a Mermaid Cuticle Oil in What's the Scoop. And if you like rainbow sherbet, you're gonna love this one because it smells exactly like that smells. So I'm loving this for summer. It's perfect, and it really goes with the vibe of this mani. By the way, guys, if you've been loving Scales of a Mermaid since, let me know which ones down below in the comments, because I love them all, but I don't actually have them all. I have most of them, but not all of them. So let me know what your favorites are. While you're there, let me know what you think of this mani as well, because I am over the moon for it. I absolutely adore it. And I think you can see how easy this nail art came together. So like I said, guys, that is really the vibe of this channel. I really do like nail art that looks impressive, but is actually really easy to do. And this is one of those that I think fits that exactly right. So I will have this mani up tomorrow for the collab. So if you guys missed out on this collab, then definitely go check out the Barbie Secret Dips Facebook group, because we do collabs in there as a team from time to time, and there's so much fun when we all get together and do our own things. So I hope to see you guys there tomorrow. Make sure to tag us so I can see what you created. Alright guys, that is going to complete this video. So I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, it would help me out so much if you would give me a thumbs up down below. And while you're there, if you've not subscribed already, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. And don't forget that notification bell. We got new content coming every Tuesday and Friday at 2 p.m. Central. So as always guys, I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.